And just like that, we are right back at you once again. Happy Halloween, people. It's Halloween for us here in San Diego, California. Welcome to another edition of the official McCoy podcast, brought to you by No Coast and Officialized Media. Again, happy Halloween, man. Hope you guys are out there, eating candy nice and early like I did. It's one day of the year you can get up, Christmas besides Christmas. And I don't know if you can sneak candy early on Easter. Some people do, but definitely on Halloween. Let's get straight to it, man. The World Series is over, y'all. The evil empire has won. The Boston Red Sox defeated the Dodgers. We talked about it. It all came down to Kershaw. Kershaw looked shaky. You know what I mean? We talked about it in the podcast before the World Series even started. I said if you're a Dodger fan, you got to be nervous on how Clayton Kershaw is looking. That's 2 straight L's for the Dodgers in the World Series. It's 2 straight L's for Kershaw in the World Series, really. The Red Sox were dominating. They dominated throughout the whole playoff. They set records. They only lost 3 times. They had clutch hitting. They just sucked the whole life out of the Major League Baseball during the playoffs. It was beautiful. And you know what? I didn't know Tony La Russa was over there. Did y'all know Tony La Russa was Vice President of Strategy, Business Operations, Assistant to the General Manager's son for the Red Sox? If y'all was up on game, they showed Tony La Russa in the press box looking like a boss. And it's no secret that wherever Tony La Russa goes, the wins go. The A's, the Cardinals, and now all of a sudden the Red Sox are cracking. And I like Cora. He makes like childish mistakes while he manages. He don't really care. He's very disruptive. He's turning the old adages and ways of managing on baseball on his head. It's beautiful. Baseball is an old game. It's about time. Leave it up to a player to come up there and update the whole old Red Sox traditions and turn the whole baseball traditions on his head. It was beautiful. The only other thing I liked about Boston winning the World Series, besides that, we're a big fan of Big Poppies. I don't really like Boston like that. Their fans are weird and petty and slightly racist, and so it's depending on what era you are at in American sports. Anyway, they got 11 championships to 2001. Is Boston the new title town? Hell no, I ain't trying to hear that. It's too cold. Title town, you want to be warm in title town so you can go out and enjoy your title. In Boston, you got to stay inside. They're going to have to stay inside. It's wintertime in Boston. They're going to have to come to California, real title town, to celebrate. I digress. The only thing that came good about the Boston Red Sox winning the World Series was David Price. He got out of the sunken place. And he knew that he was up against a guy who was about to be in the sunken place. It was either him or Kershaw, y'all. It was a fight to go in the sunken place. And Kershaw is now in the sunken place. And David Price looking like a World Series G. He gave up the first pitch they stroked him for a home run. Then he came back, and he was pitching from the dark. Kershaw ain't pitching from the dark yet. You know what I mean? David Price has been running around with big contracts and having to ride around town with his top up. He can't even ride drop top around where he at because David Price was taking heat because he didn't win any playoff games. He won some now. That's because he was pitching in the dark. You got to come from the dark sometimes. Sometimes it don't always work out for you too. You got to go through it to get to it. The dark, when you pitch and play from the dark, that's a place you tap into. You got to be very careful. It can backfire on you if you're not mentally strong. He was mentally strong. He's been through it. What is that? Resilience? Isn't that what they call that? That's resilience, man. He could have easily just been the guy with the big bag that just went out there and pitched and didn't care about if he won. He cared about if he won. He put on for the Red Sox. Good for David Price. I'm a David Price fan. I'm happy that the Boston run the World's Red Sox. Because of that, it sucks that it had the titles when titles have to go back east, but oh well. The Dodgers will be back next year, maybe. Don't pay Manny. Pay Puig. Manny didn't look like what we thought what the Dodgers fans were going to get. And Kershaw, what did he? He opted into his contract, didn't he? I don't know for sure. He didn't? I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure. I got a feeling that he opted back into his contract. I don't know. I just kind of being in professional sports before, I know people in contract years, you have a performance, you might want to opt back in, take that guaranteed 30 or whatever that is before you go back on the market, and they hit you with that 17. Ask Dez. Keep playing around in contract years off boo-boo performances, and they give you the boo-boo contract. Facts. I got a boo-boo deal one time after I performed well. It's all right. I'm getting over it. Let's move on to the NFL. Not a lot going on in the NFL, except there was a fire sale. Not a whole lot going on, except a lot going on, and everybody getting on the move. They got Hugh up out of there, y'all. Damn. I was happy for Hugh. It seemed like he had some pictures on somebody in that organization because he kept his job longer than most people keep their jobs. He didn't really do anything revolutionary either. He's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer, right? He ain't whispered nothing, no sweet lullabies in any of them Cleveland Browns. But it's the Browns. Can we blame Hugh for a 336-1 in 2 seasons? Ooh. That's tough. But Cleveland, if anybody could take it, Cleveland can. So, you know what I mean? Those people that's Cleveland strong, they take L's better than anybody else in the country. Browns are supposed to be interested in Lincoln Riley. Is that his name? That's not a bad idea. It's kind of like the youth movement with the coach for the Rams, right? They can talk to the kids. They updating the offenses, you know. They play Madden. These young coaches play Madden. You guys are tripping if you guys don't think the coaches play Madden. They're game simulations now. You click the thing over, and it's a simulation. It's real. You make real-life decisions. Ty tried to make a real-life decision, y'all.
Ty Montgomery decides to bring it out, and the ball is loose. Rams say they have the ball as Montgomery spits it up, and it's LA football. It looked like Ramik Wilson, a backup linebacker, delivered the big hit on Montgomery. Can you believe that?
Coming out of the end zone. Where you going, Ty? You supposed to down that thing and let Aaron do the Aaron Rodgers thing like he did to my Niners and everybody else through the NFL history. Man, Ty ran that thing out. Ty got hit. Out goes ball. Out goes Ty. Damn, they traded Ty, y'all. That's cold-blooded. Everybody may or may not have thrown him off the bus. I'm running that out too, Ty. That wasn't deep enough for me to take the knee, right? They're not taking the knee for you in Madden. If you catch it right there, they're going to make you bring it out. You know, they do the little 2 steps in Madden before they let you bring it out. So, Ty, the game, the computer brings it out. I'm bringing that out, Ty. I'm with you. But you fumbled. Ooh. When you go like that, you know, brain fart or not, and you fumble, it just ends up as a fumble, Ty. They got you up out of there. Sent you up there with Flacco. That may or may not be bad. Ravens looking good. You got a real life quarterback who can get the ball down the field. They got a running back. They got the defense. The defense is #1 in the league, Ty. Ty, you might be all right. It might be a little bit more cracking in Baltimore than it is in Green Bay. They say there's funny style up there in Green Bay. Say they don't like McCartney and Aaron Rodgers. It's always funny style in Green Bay if you haven't noticed throughout the years. I don't really care for Green Bay too much either. I'm a 49er fan. So I'm cool on the Cheeseheads. Love what Terrell did to the Cheeseheads. Remember when Terrell caught the pass and went into the concussion protocol, but there wasn't one, and started crying? That's 49er lore. Remember. Anyway, everybody got moved. Ha went to the Skins. Oh, he going to be with Swearinger, though. That's going to be real life in D.C. That's going to be real Sean Taylor-ish. Remember Sean Taylor? Rest in peace, Sean Tay. University of Miami alum. One of the coldest free safeties of all time. He's top 10 in my book, up there with Ronnie Lott and a few other of my free safeties, Ed Reed, Blades. You know, it's a Miami tradition to be a free safety. It's going to be all right with Swearinger. That should be dope. They done traded Golden Tate to the Eagles. That was a boss move on the Eagles' part. They could use some help. Why they trade Tate up out of there? Because they're tanking, because they're not going nowhere? Is that the new thing? How are you trading Golden Tate? He's been holding the Lions down more than Matthew Stafford. Who else was going to catch the Matthew Stafford laser balls from all over the place but Golden Tate? And he got the best celebrations. And he did a return address with us. Got a nice home out here in San Diego. He's a Notre Dame Fighting Irish. What's the problem out there in Detroit? It's supposed to be Golden Tate? I ain't rolling with that. Anyway, he gets to go to the Eagles. That should be good for Carson Wentz and everybody else at the Eagles. They could looking like they could use a shot in the arm. Demarius went to the Texans. That's low-key mean. What's that, Hopkins and Demarius ooh. With Watson, Mr. Randy Watson, that quarterback. That's not his name, but I just felt like saying that. Fowler went to the Rams. The Rams, man, they printing money. They cheating. Something's going on. How they get Fowler too, dog? How many more players do they need? They got everybody. How did Jaguars let that happen? That fire sale, something going. Remember we said something was going on in Jacksonville. It was getting real funny style. We said that a couple weeks ago. Now they got Fowler out there going to the Rams. The Rams cheating. They ain't trying to hear that. They don't need nobody else on defense. That's interesting for football. We said there was a fire sale happening and teams were tanking, and all of a sudden people are getting rid of players. They're not even that disgruntled. Ooh. Before I get off of the football subject, I hope you guys saw Ed Reed's reply to what happened with Malcolm Jenkins. There's like a 6-part little interview where he did, I guess, in front of his locker. He did it in front of his locker. He clarified the issues and why he called Malcolm Jenkins a SO. I ain't going to say the word. There's enough people saying that, they playing out they can't even say the word no more. They get mad when you call them people not using it correctly. That's why it gets misused. Anyway, he went in on Malcolm Jenkins, started talking about the deals between the owners and that coalition he was on, and he started talking about the numbers and how much dollar for dollar they wanted to do and breaking down the different price points. The owners were supposed to contribute to the social awareness, whatever, coalition in the NFL. Man, he said, you got to watch that. You got to watch that little interview he did in front of his audience. He said Malcolm Jenkins took the good old boy deal, said they needed a blackface. That's what he said. Don't get mad at me. I just watch the videos and do my little humble opinion. And, we can all disseminate from there the information that we get between fake news and real news. But he sat in front of his locker and he answered questions without crazy eyes. How you go from crazy eyes to poignant activists in just a couple days and speak with clear and with great diction and conjugating. I like Eric Reed. I know y'all don't want to hear that because he kneeled. Y'all forgot about what kneeling was all about. Anyway, so the whole kneel thing, I like Eric Reed. Seems to be, he's standing up for what he believes in. Do you stand up for what you believe in all the time? Don't front, not always. Let's transition into the NBA. It's a great time in the NBA over the past couple of days, man. The Warriors are looking crazy. The big homie Klay Thompson goes absolutely crazy with the Jackie Moon headband. He went Jackie Moon. Did somebody bust Klay upside the head? He was in a slump. They was just talking down on my young fella. I attended Klay Thompson's camp this past summer. We're not great friends. We're not best buddies, but I'm a fan of friends of the family and a small group of ours. 5 dribbles, 10 threes in one half, 14 in a game. 5 dribbles? That don't even make no sense. That's somebody you tell your kid to watch and play like. You can't really tell your kid to play like Steph. Because at the end of the day, if your kid is out there launching 30-footers from half court and he ain't making them, you're going to be tight. You might even pull your own son out the game. Miss out on the chance of nepotism. Klay killed. That happened to me before. Seattle Supersonics versus the Utah Jazz. Forgot what year it was. Karl Malone goes off for 50, and I think I counted 8 dribbles that he took. It was bananas. It was annoying. I got some of that 50. I ain't going to front. But it was equally distributed around a couple other players. I didn't get like 30 and somebody else got 6. I might have got 12. But he was running real fast, and they be setting them back screens. They got John Stockton setting a little dirty back screen on you and get Karl Malone back to the block, and then he get one of them layups. Or he do the head fake, and then you go up and you foul him, and he get the and one, and then he hit you with the hoss. I heard you coming, hoss. I didn't know how I felt about that. Another brother calling me hoss. I humbled myself. Karl Malone was an all-star. Started to get a little attitude. Karl Malone go about 265, 270 on an off day. You got to start making business decisions when you start running up on these guys. Plus, ain't nobody got no time to be running up on Karl Malone. He was a legend. Anyway, 8 dribbles. He had 8 dribbles. Clay took 5, and you're out here with your trainer doing dribble combinations and double pump one with legged jumpers like you James Harden. Watch out who you learn from. That's going to come a subject in. It's going to come up later on in the podcast about watching out who you learn from. Learn from Klay Thompson. You can learn from Klay, but you know what I mean? Steph. But everybody can't be running around like Steph doing all that. The Warriors put up 92 points in the first half. Is the world ready for a 200-point basketball game? Will that be the death of basketball? Will y'all be salty if you see a 200-point basketball game? We've never seen one before-ish in a game that really counted. I know the All-Star game gets up there, right? 150, 160, 180, whatever it is. 200 points is going to be dangerous. If we start getting 200 points scored, we'll know that they have infiltrated the association with this instant gratification nonsense and just want to see people score and do right. You got to have defense because that's what happens in life. Everybody's not always scoring in life. Did you know that? I don't know if you young people know that. Wake up this morning. Y'all just waking up in the morning thinking you're going to get yours off. When I was doing coaching, I used to hear players talk down the bench from AAU to pros talking about how they was going to get theirs off. Disassociated from the whole team, ain't really got no concept of team or even their body in space, doing 8 dribble combinations in the corner. And you ain't 6'9" or you ain't KD. Anyway, everybody don't get to get theirs off every day. Some days you got to play defense. Sometimes it's better to play. I like playing defense. You can play defense every day. In life and in basketball, your jumper might not always be falling. Sometimes your jumper is broke in life. You can hang your hat on defense all day. There's some surprise teams in the NBA this year. The Bucks are 7-0. The Pistons are 4-2. The Nuggets are 5-1. Who expected that? The Bucks. I kind of expected the Bucks to do well. Giannis looks like a Terminator Cyberdyne Systems 101. I don't know what he's doing. He actually put some more muscle on top. He's just an imposing figure. And he still hasn't even really figured out who he's supposed to be in the NBA, but he's dominating as he is now. The Pistons are 4-2. Is that like a Blake Griffin? Is Blake back? I don't know if Blake back, y'all. It's the East. It's Detroit. LeBron left. Raptors are cracking. I haven't really seen too many teams in the East that's really like that. The Cavs, ooh, it's tough over there in Cleveland. They got Ty Lue out of there in Cleveland. Cavs started 1-6. They got T. Lue up out of there. Excuse me. Why they get T. Lue up out of there? 2 straight finals? 2 straight finals? A championship? Had one of the hardest jobs of coaching the best player in the world. That ain't easy. Got LeBron James over there sitting in the huddle trying to micromanage and can do everything in the arena. Shoot. He did a good job in getting out the way and getting him a title. So now they want to get T. Lue out of there. Where everybody got to go. Might as well. It's going to be tough in Cleveland this year. It's going to be tough in Houston. Rockets are 1-5. Everybody, talking down on Melo. Wherever Melo go, they be hating on Melo. And it's followed them in Houston. He had a pretty good game the other day. He had 22 points the other day, then had a bad game, and everybody was like, the Melo effect. That's just wrong. They got some other things going on in Houston. The arms race that they wanted to be on and keep up with Golden State, and their 3 and D, what's it, the three-pointer and dunk? Man, no disrespect. I can't pretend to be a general manager and run an NBA team. Well, actually, I can. The whole analytics thing where we only take three-pointers and get dunks, that ain't working. I can put analytics around everything and make it look good. How do you ignore a whole aspect of the game, like mid-range? Golden State working out the mid-range. KD working out some of the best scoring, probably the best scoring team in the NBA, get the easiest shots. They get backdoor layups. They get Sean Livingston go down in the post and shoot over the top of a little guard. They do the Harlem Globetrotter thing in the front and the back of the defense. They dribble weave, dribble handoffs. I don't see that with Houston. I just see CP3 dribbling the ball up the court. You know what I mean? Then he just takes the air out of the ball a little bit. Then they swinging over to James. Then he take the rest of the air out of the ball and he hit you with the step back, the bearded step back. And that's what they got. And then they got rid of Trev. Y'all needed Trev. Now got my folk Trev out there struggling in Phoenix with that team and that ownership. That's tough. Got his money though, and he deserves it. But I'd much rather see Trev with the Lakers. What happened with that? Or back with the Rockets. Anywhere but Phoenix. But get your money, dog. Absolutely get your money. Wizards are 1-6. Wizards be running around aimlessly. They got a bad somebody they put a roux on the Wizards. Like somebody got, spitting rhyme over a chicken and like got some bad roux on the Wizards because it don't seem like Wall and Bill get along. They play like they do. They play nice. But they don't have no sense of joy on the court. It's weird. That's why they 1-6. They made some moves. They thought they were going to get better, but they didn't. Lakers ain't too much better. They 2-5. Everybody's panicking. This happened before. Did you think they would have been beautiful if they would have went on a 7-0 run? But 2-5, it is. You got to finish. Time to jail. The team doesn't know who they are yet. They got people coming off injuries. Rondo's gleeking. Lonzo got too swole. Put the tattoos all over his body. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take some time. He didn't play like this last year. It takes some time to figure it in during the summer. I know he couldn't play a lot of basketball. He could probably work out. It takes time to fit into new tattoos and bigger biceps while you got LeBron James out there running around. Lonzo going to be all right. Brandon Ingram, the newest goon in the NBA, allegedly. There's a lot of stories going on about Brandon Ingram. Rumors about him having deals with people coming to the game and they have to sit up in the 400 section. The work. It's out there on Twitter. I read that this morning. Y'all looking around. I got my young fellas in here looking around like, whoa, did he just say that? Yeah, I did. And we didn't fact check, but I just read it this morning. Somebody sent it to me. It's interesting. So he's out there on people. He missed, but he firing. And then he got a little situation going on the off court. He got to get that thing dialed in. Bi LA is tough. Been a lot of players come through LA. You know what I mean? You got to, as a young man, that's a hell of a smorgasbord up there in Los Angeles. There's a lot of things to do, especially when you're a Laker. But you out here punching people. And they got your business all out here in the streets. You gotta get that thing dialed back in. Especially when you're playing with the king. Holla at LeBron. You know what I mean? Ask for some advice somehow. Anyway, I know you guys think the Lakers are gonna miss the playoffs. I don't think so. I personally don't think so. I don't think the West is that tough. Denver's nice. Denver's better than the Rockets. Sorry. And they got Porter and Isaiah Thomas sitting over there not healed up yet. Y'all didn't think about that. Jokic is nice. He just do what he do. No nonsense. He don't get in nobody's way, play physical, set screens. He's a good passer. Make his free throws. Go sit down. Repeat. They play fast, too. He's more athletic than you think he is. Now, I ain't saying he about to do a reverse windmill or, play above the rim. But he's more athletic than you think he is. He moves his feet pretty well. He moves laterally well enough. Shoot. Seen a lot of other people in the NBA don't be moving like Jokic. Giannis looking like the MVP. It's going to be tough for Giannis to win the MVP. Because, any handful of the Warriors are going to be up for the MVP. LeBron going to be up for the MVP again. I don't know. They make you wait. Kobe waited a long time before he got his MVP. Let's not forget that. They gave LeBron his early. Kobe had to wait for his. Giannis might have to wait for his. So the NBA is cracking this year, man. I'm really enjoying what's going on. I think it's going to be some more player movement like the NFL. Teams are being less patient when the vibe ain't right. They're getting you up out of there for mistakes and when the vibe ain't right. You know what I mean? Coaches only got 1-2 years before they got to get up out of there. Speaking of a coach who got to get up out of there. Y'all heard this dude, Mike Woodbury? I'm not even sure we can qualify this dude as a dude or a man. This is a coward. I don't know if you guys know Mike Woodbury, man. He went on in like a profanity-laced tirade on this one-on-one meeting with this kid, Marvin's Peshin. Wanted to transfer. By the way, they're at what is this? The Christian Academy in Florida. I forgot the name. I'm pretty sure it'll come up if you research it. The Nation Christian Academy, y'all. That's where they took Coach Woodbury at the Nation's Christian Academy. He has a one-on-one player. A player wants to get out of there. He has a one-on-one meeting with the player. It's profanity laced, put the earmuffs on the children or hope you have your ear pods in, but you got to listen to it. It's about 3 minutes. It's tough. It's going to be a tough 3 minutes, but imagine what this young man has been dealing with. You can deal with this for 3 minutes if this young man has been dealing with this all year.
What was this conversation about?
I don't know.
What, me disrespecting you fake fucks? Just get out of my face. Take your broke asses, I'll say it again, your broke asses back to the fucking the garage. I don't want to hear shit from you. Bottom line. The next thing I hear from you, get the fuck out. Just walk the fuck out. I don't give a shit. I control transcripts. I control where you go next. It could be back to Haiti, motherfucker. That's how easy it is for me. You don't want to... listen, I'm the one thing that you don't want to cross because I'm the dirtiest, baddest motherfucker in this earth. Like, because you don't want to get on... First of all, you can't get to my level. You can't. You can't. It's like I said when I came out and you tried to get out and coach Liz and say you're gonna fucking, I'm gonna show you this, and what did I tell you? I'm gonna send your little, hey, shut up, stupid ass. I screenshotted it. You know what that's called? Okay. What is that called? Fuckface.
I don't know what that's called. Extortion. Never say
it's called extortion. I have it on a text message. You dumb motherfucker. I screenshotted it.
I never say if you're not doing this for me, I'm gonna do this.
No.
Never that.
Yes, you did. It says it.
Hey, it's all good.
It's called extortion.
Look, it's all good. Like I said.
This is what I say.
Like I said.
This is what I said.
I don't care.
This is what I said.
I don't care.
And they say,
I don't care about what you do.
Take your broke ass back. That's what they said. So stop. Just zip this. Stop talking. The rest of the thing, you're never... No, you're done talking.
Oh, I'm being
done talking. No, stop, you're still talking.
When
I just tell you, stop talking.
We're going to make sure
you're still talking.
Shit
you're done talking.
That's all I'm saying. I've been done talking.
Stop talking.
I've been done
Stop,
talking.
because now I control everything. I just want you to really know that.
You control what?
I'm going to fuck you in your ass the next time you talk out of line. I'm going to take everything from you. And let it be known. I'm saying it out loud. I'm going to take everything from you. I'm going to end everything you've ever had.
Okay.
And then I'm going to show that, right, that one text message that you put at 18 years old to the head of a school on stuff you shouldn't have had, on personal property, that you took a screenshot and then you sent a text to it. Mm-hmm. Look up the word. Look up. I know you're retarded. So take one of your friends and have them look up the word extortion for you. And if you need some help spelling it, Right? Maybe Simon can put it on fucking word check. Just stop talking. I'm a bad motherfucker. You crossed me for the last time.
Okay.
So don't talk ever again.
I just said okay.
That's I want you to understand. All of you, get out of my face.
He threatens to send him back to Haiti. You know, he uses the word retarded. You know, he says he's like the worst person ever and you don't want to cross him. And he's real tough. He comes across real tough in the video. This is a coward, man. This is what happens when you come over. And this kid's got the not the baggage, but the burden of what's going on in Haiti, trying to come over here to a Christian academy in Florida. And this is where they stash these little jokers. Little dude probably know nothing about basketball. This is what happens. This is what happens behind the scenes, and that people don't apologize for, or nowadays they kind of lose their job. But if it doesn't make national news, these people keep their jobs. I've been in a situation like this. I got 2 coaches fired in high school for screaming at me. You don't know my life, dog. You don't know if that motivates me. Screaming at a kid who wants to do well. Every kid wants to do well. Everybody knows pressure. There's social media, right? In sports, everybody knows when you haven't made it. That's, you know, in 2018, people know if you haven't made it, or if you have a dream and you haven't gotten to it. You know, with social media, they know you haven't, especially with basketball. So many different schools. There's Division 1, 2, 3, right? So if you haven't made it to a Division 1 school, people start getting funny style on you. You start telling them you play D2, D3. People start making faces at you like they could have did it. Anyway, Woodbury is a punk. And I know a handful of athletes or dads or Haitians that like 5 minutes alone in a room with him, just for some conversation. So he can feel that energy. You know what I mean? Which he needs to at the end of the day. You can't go in behind closed doors and talk trash to kids. He says there's more to the story. Ain't no more to the story. The only thing else we needed to the story is that his ass is gone and he'd never be able to coach another. He should never be able to coach again. He should be on fries. No disrespect to the homies on fries. Never mind. He should be in charge of waste management. You know, he's trash. Should be around trash. He can manage trash. Looks like he's been, I don't know how he is, but it looks like he's been managing trash however long he is. I know there's pressures about being a coach and your job. I don't think you go in on people threatening to deport them and calling them whatever else he was calling them in the shout out to that kid. Did he make the tape? I think he came in there, put him in the twist and hit him like the Negotiator and a couple other movies you saw where they come in and they tell on yourself. And the TV shows, you know how they get you? They get you with the diarrhea at the mouth, get you feeling good and talking about yourself, and then you end up telling yourself, and then they be waiting outside. They had your ass on loudspeaker and they arrest you. Good for that kid. He could have easily been quiet and tried to just keep that in his life. That's abuse. No? That's just an abuse of power. It's an abuse of just taking up some life force, man. No doubt. That was bad. I'm cool on Mike Woodbury. You should be too. They need to get him out of there and make sure he can get on the whole of nobody else's kid. That's why you got to be careful who you send your kids to. Some of the cleanest faces be dirty. And he's over there at the Christian Academy probably praying, right? They're probably praying before practice and games and all that. And then he goes and he plays this young man like this behind closed doors. I'm going to pray for him next week. Reach Robotics. I don't know why, but I watch these videos from Reach Robotics. Have you guys seen videos from Reach Robotics? Reach Robotics, but I forgot what's the young man's name. And I'm probably doing him a disservice. There's a young man. He's a young man. He started this company, Reach Robotics. They launched their first product. What is it, the Mechanon? The Mechamon. It looks pretty creepy. You know what I mean? It has you thinking about it. Griffin wonders, is this the beginning of the end? I brought this to his attention. He's scared. You know, he's a younger man. You know, he wonders about these things and technology. He thinks Reach Robotics is the beginning of the end. Is it? I like these things. People are creepy. Have you seen some of these people walking around out here? Can't talk to nobody nowadays. Can't be out in a public place. There's a lot of ignorance running around. So, Reach Robotics makes me happy. I think they got bought by Apple. I think he started as a garage. He's got like a great workplace. Check out Reach Robotics, man. Shout out to that kid. I'm going to figure out his name in a minute, hopefully, before I finish.
His name is Silas Adekunle.
His name is Silas Adekunle. Ish. If I butchered his name, I apologize, Silas, but you're doing big things over there at Reach Robotics. I'm going to buy one. How much are they?
Like $400, $500.
Yeah. Next week. That's what they used to tell me in Spain. When you play overseas, that's what they tell you when you want your money. So on the 15th, you know, 1st and 15th, when you're supposed to get your bread overseas, and you notice that you ain't got your bread in your account, they hit you with the next week. Hey, man, you got my money next week. A few months later, you be playing like 3 months, no bread. And then you have like a meltdown, and you go Eric Reed crazy eyes halfway around the world, and you end up kicking basketballs in a city in Spain closer to Portugal than it was to Madrid. I may or may not have been there. That's what happened to me. Before I get to the culture action, I'm going to share with you a little story, which what happens with coaches. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tie this all in together. Y'all, this is going to be a treat. I'm going to tell you what happens with coaches. I played in a city called Cáceres, Spain. That's how you say it in Spain. You can't say Cáceres. And they don't speak like that over there, y'all. You got and it's azul instead of azul. You got to get your together over in Spain. Anyway, I was over in Cáceres. I had this coach, this short coach. He was, I won't call him racist. He was ignorant. You know what I mean? He was highly ignorant. You know what I mean? And I had another player on the team. His name was Francisco. Right? Francisco. You know, we had a long season. We used to take 20-hour bus rides halfway across Spain to get to other games. It was rough. That's when I knew it was the beginning of the end. I didn't really like the whole overseas deal. It didn't make sense. Practicing twice a day, and you're only going to let me play 14 minutes. And if I start scoring too early, then they take you out of the game. You didn't know that. You guys don't see the games overseas. You guys think it's fun being over in other countries. Yeah, it's great. You play overseas, bitch. You get to see a lot of cool shit. No, I don't. I got to eat with these dudes, wear the same polo at lunch, travel with them on 20-year-old bus rides, eat the same food every trip. They control your food, everything. You got a roommate. Shit wasn't fun. Sorry to cuss. But it wasn't. Anyway, I had two ignorant people on this team in Cáceres. So we had to practice, you know. That's all we did was practice. We only played one time a week. We had to practice, and something happens, and what is that? I think his name was Francisco. He proceeded to call me a black bitch. Right? And I kind of thought I was with Ryan Humphrey. He's a coach in Notre Dame right now. He's a McDonald's High School All-American. Played in the NBA a couple of years. He was on the team with me as well. And I kind of looked at him, and I think he saw the meltdown happening like immediately. So he kind of was walking over to me, and a couple of other Spanish players came over to me, and I just threw the ball at his face. You know what I mean? He didn't get a flush one. It wasn't as flushed as I would like it to have been. You know what I mean? Kind of hit him on the side over here on the cheek and the eye. You know what I mean? Still got some leather across his face. He was a fairer skinned man, so he had a mark across his face. But the boy called me a black bitch, right? So I lunched. I threw the ball at him, and then the whole team came and got me. And the coach came and got me. So, but this wasn't the first time. Like I had heard, like he had said he has a friend over there that I forgot what it, but he called him Blackie. So he had been hitting me with this blackie during practice, you know what I mean, talking about blackie. And he was sneak dissing. I didn't know if he was sneak dissing, so my radar was up, y'all. I ain't had nothing else to do. There's only 3 brothers probably in the city, in the a-hole of Spain. Anyway, everybody came and got me. The coach who had said some like borderline ignorant racist stuff over there in Spain. Y'all know Spain get down. I don't know if you've been to Spain. Spain might not be too comfortable with the brothers all the time. You know what I mean? So anyway, I start kicking balls. I start kicking all the balls in the stands. You know, after I saw that like the whole Spanish contingent was coming after me, I start launching the balls. Bloop, bloop. Ryan Humphrey, no, look, just talk to me for a minute. You know, the other kid, Jeff, he was younger than us. I ain't gonna say I care for him. He was just young. He didn't know a lot. You know what I mean? But I started kicking the balls in the stands, and I lost it. I went crazy eyes. I got fined. I got fined afterwards. They held some of my salary that they never paid me. But I say that because I know what it's like being in an ignorant situation or being supposed to be under a person with authority, and they're just jabbing at you all year. It wasn't the first time that happened to me. It happened to me professionally as well, and it happened to me overseas. I just like the overseas story because I didn't have the fortitude that he had. Right? I went crazy eyes and started throwing balls and kicking balls in the stands, and I got fined. I should have just queued up, but I don't have a chance to record it. Anyway, I said because he had a good head on himself, and he made a decision to flip the table on the person in authority, and he didn't go crazy eyes and launch balls. And so I feel like that's what happens and goes unnoticed. You don't never know what these kids or players go through. Some of it is abuse. It's stressful being an athlete. In every different level, high school, shoot, even the AAU is stressful nowadays. They got club teams with 30 games in 1 week. It's crazy out here. Speaking of crazy out here, man, we got a little culture update for y'all. I don't know how much this is an update, and who cares? But Kanye said he was used. Kanye said he was used, and he's back from out the sunken place. Kanye, please. Y'all think Kanye was used? Y'all good? You think he was used? Are you good with his apology? And they're not even black. You know what I mean? Nobody's good with Kanye's apology. He's running around here with Big Baller Brand and LeVar. Isn't that the dad's name? LeVar? What are you supposed to do? A collaboration with Kanye West and LeVar Ball shoe? What the hell does that look like? LeVar got him back out of the sunken place. Are y'all rolling with that? Y'all think LeVar got him out of the sunken place and now he's ready to go? Kanye said he was used. Kanye used us. I ain't trying to hear that. Overpricing them damn shoes. Speaking out against the culture. Upsetting Hove. Can't get Hove on the line. Can't get another Watch the Throne. Because you can't keep I don't even know if it's mental health anymore. This sounds like just some I don't know. I don't want to use any more derogatory comments like the Mike Woodbury. I'm going to try to take that kid's lead. Anyway, and today, that was our culture update. Kanye is too late. No, we're not going to end it on that. Because there's one other piece of foolishness that I've seen over the last couple of days. The Dr. Phil show. Did y'all see a baby girl talking about she was Caucasian? If you didn't see the Dr. Phil show, and I know Dr. Phil be tripping and they be putting a 2 on the 10, a little Salt Bay. It'd be a little extra. Part of it is entertainment. But they had this young girl who said she was Caucasian. She was clearly not. Goes on to talk about how she knows she's white because black people have ugly ears and big noses and big lips. And when you see the clips, I'm just saying, hers aren't small. You got to see it. right? So she goes on, she starts insulting black people, and Dr. Phil invites this lady, this coach life, you know what I mean, life coach, and she insults her, says she doesn't listen to, I won't repeat that word, right? Then she says that she's most definitely highly above everybody else in the black community and all this other madness. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. If I had to watch it, so do y'all got to suffer through it too. You got to go watch it. All right? Then Dr. Phil denies her request into the Caucasian population. You know, it's kind of like the draft. Remember the race draft from Dave Chappelle? Dr. Phil had his own mini race draft on Dr. Phil. He said, request denied. You're not Caucasian, because of her negative remarks and the just the way she was talking about black people and how ignorant she was. Update, the sister went live on like Facebook and said they made it up for the trip to Dr. Phil. Damn. You sick sickos. For the trip to, you know how bad that set the culture back? I don't know what was worse. The fact, I would have much rather it been that it was true. That she really did feel like that. But the sister goes on like Facebook Live and says they live in a black community and she has nothing but black fans. Damn, man. That's when spankings need to come back. On the real, dog. No disrespect. And don't come for me, Child Protective Services. I ain't spanked nobody. And I hope nobody gets spanked except, what was her name? Treasure. Treasure left us with a jewel. Said she was Caucasian. Sister comes out, said the whole thing was a hoax for a trip to Dr. Phil. It was sad. It's been a sad day for the culture. We need some uplifting. We need an album. We need some of that new Tupac music that is supposed to come out, is supposed to have been released, that they settled whatever lawsuit they were at. We need Marvin Gaye. And some of these kids need like New Edition and the dance and the court women instead of Little Pumps and Peeps. And, you know, calling women out their land. You got to learn how to court a woman. They forgot how to court a woman. They forgot how to court a woman. They forgot how to take L's. And they forgot how to win. People don't even win the way you're supposed to. They get to braggadocious. My son does it all the time. It's like, man, when you a winner, it just is what it is. It's just Tuesday. Stop being so braggadocious. Stop front running and be a good winner. And be a good loser if you got to be a loser. But try not to be a loser unless you're around a whole bunch of winners. Did that make any sense? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This has been the Official McCoy podcast. Whatever you do, don't be a Mike Woodbury. That's a thing now. We're going to coin that. So whatever you do, spend the rest of your week being the opposite of Mike Woodbury, watching some trippy videos of Reach Robotics, and tune in to us next week here at the Official McCoy podcast. We'll see you next time.